just start with you in a rant.
What it do, Buck fans? Happy Wednesday. It is AJ Turn Up here with the Bucs Report, the aftermath. We got my homie Slick right here. He's the real deal, the British guy who's always fly and will put you on notice by standby. What it do?
Oh my lord, that introduction. Anyways, my bro host, Mr. Bob Curry, AJ Turn Up. How you been doing? Have you been arguing with people on the internet?
Yes and no. I'm kind of trying to keep cool, but the way that people are disrespecting this Bucs team is pissing me off. I'm done. I'm getting tired because now it's not logic. Now you're just talking shit because you guys are just so stuck on the media. I don't care what they have to say. These guys get paid to talk bullshit. Again, you pay me enough. I might have to water it down, but until then, until the check clears, I'm all here. I'm here for the smoke, and I ain't here for no choke. So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Let's dive into that then. So tell me give me the disrespect that's been going on. Tell me a little bit about it.
The disrespect that I do not like is that
call these people up by name if you know their names.
ESPN. Well, good morning. Good morning. Have the damn Saints. They have the Saints above the Bucs, which I don't understand.
Football, NFL Network.
Yeah, and NFL. Good morning, NFL. Yeah. I mean, and
fucking Peter Trager with his fucking nerd.
Yes, and the thing is, why are people so impressed with I get it. Derek Carr coming to the Saints is cool, but it's nothing.
It's not like they got Tom Brady, is it?
Right. It's not
couldn't do it with fucking Drew Brees.
Right. Exactly. So I don't understand this. They don't talent for talent have the same talent that we do on offense or the defensive side.
AJ,
yeah, I'm sorry. He's not.
No, I can get you a mid round, but let's put a dose of realism for these people here.
Yes.
Who did Derek Carr get to throw to in his last job?
Devontae Adams.
And Devontae Adams, who's arguably considered the best wide receiver in football.
Yep.
It's debatable, but he's a top 5 wide receiver, yeah? And is it best buddy? So you've got chemistry, you've got longevity, and you've got one of the best. He also has one of the best passing tight ends in football. He's got third and Renfrew, and their running back was crowned the best running back in football last year. And how the fuck do you end up with such a shitty fucking record? So if you turn around, what do you think? He's going to go to the fucking Saints and just flip them fucking around? They're going to turn them from the Aints where they're fucking unhappy face to fucking McDonald's smiles? It ain't going to happen.
It's not going to happen. And again, you're coming to a team with a deteriorating defense. People don't realize.
That defense is fucking old.
Yes, your 2 youngest stars are still in Marshawn Lattimore, whatever, and Demario Davis, but he's getting up there. You don't have. That's a they're in rebuilding mode. And then don't get me started on the offense. I love how people are talking like Olive is like the best. He's like number 4 in the NFC South among receivers. I'll take Evans over him. I'll take Godwin over him. Hell, I'll take CJ Moore is no longer there, but if he was there, I'd take CJ Moore over Olive. What do we always talk about, Slick? You got to give people time before you crown them, title them, or narrate them at a certain level. He had a good rookie season. Whoop they fucking do. You know who else had a good rookie season here? Michael Clayton. And we see how far that went. We all thought Michael Clayton was going to be the next big thing. We thought he was going to be what Evans is. But it didn't pan out that way because people adjusted to him. So pump your brakes, guys. The Saints ain't going nowhere. Hell, the Saints might do worse than the Panthers. They might do worse than the Falcons. Because
let's be running back supposed to go into some fucking problems now.
Exactly. And then people don't realize, again, we just talked about a deteriorating defense. They're just they're 2 injuries away on defense from being a team and defensively that's going nowhere. If Marshawn Lattimore is out for at least 3 games or Demario Davis is out for more than 3 games, that's automatic losses. They're not going to be able to stop the run. They won't be able to do anything in the pass. And how we talk about the Bucs offense is going to have to learn, and it's going to take time. Y'all act like that. I don't know why the media act like Derek Carr is going to come in here and this offense is going to be top 10. No, they're going to have their growing pains too. And we just talked about if Kamara gets these charges and he gets suspended, now you have no legit running back behind him. So the Saints to me are literally a prayer away from having a super shitty season. So for all you people out there who are mocking the Bucs, you don't know what's going to happen. From what I've been reading, the Bucs offense is in love with what Canales has been doing. It's different things. Even Levante David is giving praise about it. So the simple fact that the morale in the Bucs organization is much higher than it was last season, that's already a step that other teams got to watch out for. We've already said the NFC is not a super competitor, so anybody can really get in there. You got the Eagles, maybe Dallas, and maybe 49ers. There's only one legit NFC contender, and that's the Eagles.
I think the problem with the Saints is, and it also came out that they've been saying shit like we're going to take Carr back to Vegas because the Super Bowl's in Vegas, and a lot of people seem to they're buying into their own fucking hype. So
yeah,
they got to learn to get their shit together. Hey, they could be good, but I don't see it. I don't see it because there just isn't enough there on the bone to go, yeah, this is a genuine contender team. I think offensively we are better than them. Defensively we're similar to them but younger. That's how I would view this. If I'm being like apples to apples and oranges to oranges, that's how I look at it. I think we're more dynamic in play pieces. They probably have the better quarterback, but hey, it's all about the system. If the system clicks for Baker Mayfield and he ends up playing as good as he did in Cleveland in the playoff year, then does it fucking matter? Because that will win football games.
That will win football games. And with the new system, how do you know now that the Bucs offense will be utilized to its potential? We saw what it could have been the second season with under Arians. Imagine what it's going to be like now with a quarterback that's mobile. I think a lot of people don't realize what a mobile quarterback can do for this offense. Brady, again,
you'll pick up yards when you can't get yards. So instead of taking the sack or throwing the ball away, you convert a 3 or 4 yards. So you end up going, instead of being second and you hand the ball off first down, you gain a 2 yards. Okay, not the greatest, but finish. So you're now second and 8.
Yep.
Stand by the pass. You're gonna take a shot. Pass rush is coming. You step up, slide down. You gain another 3 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. That is manageable.
That's right.
We're not talking about, and if he does somehow just shakes loose and is able to get a first down, I just hope he's savvy with the slide in, because I never ever want to see quarterbacks going for a run, because they're just one hit away from being side-cutted for the season, and then that's your season's over unless they can get back in time for the playoffs, and you're one of those teams that can live to the playoffs. You don't want to be that team.
No, we do not, because San Fran had to learn the hard way. But I do agree with what you're saying. Another thing is, too, now the offense can have a lot more fun and not be so stressed. See, with Brady, because of his lack of mobility, every play had to be perfect. Let's not Buccaneers. Your offense in the first and second season, they had to play damn near to perfection to make things work. And with the line being the way it was the first 2 seasons, it made it easier. With a guy like Baker, a mistake can happen because he can improvise. You want a quarterback. We know that he's not Brady. We've already said that. But if he can improvising quarterbacks can make something with this offense. Evans, Godwin, they thrive off of that. You don't believe me? Ask Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston made a lot of guys. He got people paid. This is why I don't put as much hate on this man, on Winston, like people do in the Buck community. That man got Adam Humphries paid. He made Bray very relevant. He put Evans, like he helped Evans get to soar to higher levels to where people had to acknowledge that. That's why Evans gets the love amongst his players, amongst his peers. But Baker can do that. And Baker has a little bit of, he has this, I'm going to say the word from Django. He has this panache about him that can bring out the fun and best of your teammates. This is what the Bucs were missing last year. No disrespect to Brady, but he had a lot of extra off the field issues that was a distraction, and we're human. Again, you're not fucking Tom Brady. If you lived in Tom Brady's world, a lot of people, 90% of people would fold mentally. So Baker don't have to worry about that. Baker can come in and he knows, oh wow, I got a team here and I got a new offensive coordinator we can have fun with. If you don't think that Baker is gonna, if he's get the job, he's gonna try to instill certain things, you are wrong. Canals, I feel like, is the type of open-minded coach that will say, you know what, let's run 2 or 3 plays and see what happens. The Bucs are in prime position to take our NFC South division. We're gonna win that, guys. I don't understand. The rest of the teams are too far back. Panthers still far back. The Falcons, they're still looking for a direction. This team is not rebuilt, it's reset. So there's a difference. We have the talent, and from what I've heard, our Khalid Kancey is doing the damn thing in OTAs, which I'm excited about.
So I wanted to address this as well, because the one thing we've been talking about is will Baker be the start day one and everything like that. So the one thing that's come out in the media is that there was a segment saying that this quarterback battle may go into training camp. Well, duh. If you've listened to Dave Canales' press conference, he isn't gonna name a starter until the last week of preseason unless someone gets injured. That's just how it's going to be. He's already stated that's what he's going to do. So why are you trying to guess? Oh, this is going to go into no shit, Sherlock. He fucking said that since day one. And the reason he said that is it makes both of them work as hard as they can, because they both believe they have an opportunity to win. Once one person knows they got the job, they might take their foot off the gas a little bit. And and even worse is the person who's the backup going, well, I'm just a backup, and then they tend to kind of phase out.
Mm-hmm.
That is, it's not bigger than my head.
That's a good beer, though. That's a good beer, though. That's a good beer. That is a good beer.
It's German, so we'll go with that. But so when people say this kind of shit, I'm just kind of like, come on, you know he's going to say that. And he got a lot of backlash for when he said that. I was watching a couple of people going, well, why don't you name someone else? It makes more sense to name someone else. And they make out like every rep is completely precious. It's not.
It's not.
Because you can give as many reps as you want. Trust me, the person who puts the work in is going to get the job. They probably know it's already Baker, but they know if they just sit on that information, they will both compete all the way to the end. And then you've got one guy going into week one going, oh, I nearly won that. I have an opportunity. I'm ready, and I need to stay ready. Whether you tell him at the beginning of training camp, dude, you're just the number 2, then he's like, oh, okay. And then Baker's like, well, I got this, so, I can do what I want.
Exactly.
No one on his toes. And he might psychologically know by watching each other play that he is a bit more advanced or further in front. Mm-hmm. But he doesn't know it until they name it. He has no guarantee that it is what it is. So this whole notion of who's going to win, and then we had our former quarterback, Shaun King, came out and said Trask sucks. Well, that's fair enough. I mean, to be honest, I don't think you can say that he sucks because we haven't seen anything to say he sucks, because we've never seen him with the ones. Patty King.
Usually
I like that.
When you don't have a quarterback, that's my ride for the night. I hear you, but I strongly disagree. Slick is on to something. This is a new regime where that's been the Bucs' problem in the past, not just with the quarterback, but with players. When you give someone that title already as that guy, now they don't feel like they have to work as hard for it. Now they don't have any reason to be hungrier for it because they know that is their position.
I would like to reiterate onto what I'm trying to say as well, Ben. It's not the fact that if you can't decide. I'm not saying they can't decide. I'm saying that they've already fucking decided. They're just keeping their mouths fucking shut. You don't think they knew that fucking Geno Smith was better than fucking Drew Lock? Come on. The whole world knew that fucking Geno Smith was winning that job.
Yeah.
It's the same situation. Drew Lock was way worse than Geno Smith ever has been.
Yeah, and I like a coach that makes a quarterback go, no, this is your position not to lose.
And this is his philosophy. He believes in this. This is how he does it. By making him go, you need to name a starter by fucking middle of fucking July, he's like, it goes against everything I stand for. So yeah, Ben, I completely agree. I do think they know, and they are sitting on that information. I think the media is trying to make out like, oh, if they let Baker get 20% more reps or 10% more reps, that it's going to make him a much better quarterback. It probably won't.
Mm-hmm.
Because we've seen teams where they've named the fucking starter from day one and they're still fucking shit come week 17.
Exactly.
So it makes no fucking difference. You can be prepared to be prepared.
Mm-hmm. And amen. And again, here's the thing, Ben. A lot of people are shitting on Trask, but how do you know how he's going to perform with starters? Again, every time Trask has come in the game, he's always played with the not inferior, but the second string squad or the third string, and you're not being fair. Hell, look at what Glennon did when he had the starters. He won a game for the Bucs because he had the reps. So we're not here to say that with Shaun King, I respectfully disagree, but I want Shaun King to give me more real reasons. But he can't because, like everybody else, we haven't truly seen what he can do with the Mike Evans, with the Chris Godwin, and with this new offensive line. So you're not being totally fair. Now, if Baker just flats out beat him out of this position, so be it. But we can't do that because you're not being fair. Remember, there's plenty of quarterbacks that have been here in Tampa that look like they were shit, and then they go somewhere and become the shit. So let's not make those assumptions then. We got that dude here. Uh-oh. What's up?
Bro. Uh-oh. Ben. First of all, patty cake. Baker Mayfield isn't here to be a backup quarterback. I'm not saying Baker Mayfield is the bee's knees. I'm not even saying he's a nice big beer the size of Slick's head. Not saying that. But Kyle Trask been here 2 years, got 4 plays under his belt. Okay? If you remember, Tom Brady retired initially, and the Bucs organization was like, oh, yeah, we believe in Kyle Trask, and he's going to compete with Blaine Gabbert, right? Then Brady came back. Then Brady retired. Yeah, so you would think, all right, well, you got Blaine Gabbert, you can still bring back, and you got Kyle Trask. You were good to go there before, but you didn't. You brought in Baker Mayfield. And at that point of free agency, wasn't he one of the top 2 or 3 options, for lack of a better expression?
Yeah.
So he's here. He's the starter unless he really steps on you-know-what. I believe that. That said, they haven't done Kyle Trask any favors. It's really cool to play behind Tom Brady, but that's what Blaine Gabbert did. Kyle Trask held a clipboard on the sideline and in practice was on a totally separate fucking field. So how much mentoring did he get? And it's not like Tom Brady is legendary for pulling the quarterbacks aside. Ryan Mallett, rest in peace, Garoppolo, all those guys, and really coaching them up. He led by example. So if Kyle Trask saw anything in Brady when he came in for those couple plays, it would have looked better. And 2, they wouldn't have went out and signed a free agent and gave him an incentive-laden contract and said, here, come take $15 million from us if you do good. They would stay with the rookie contract and keep building. They don't have faith in the guy. Do you want to know how I know? If you have a faith in a quarterback you drafted, when it's his turn, you give it to him. It's his turn. Well, if Baker Mayfield can come in and get signed, there you go. I think you guys got your answer.
Eloquently stated, dude.
So, with a lot of pucks and all that shit, but
hey, I don't care who comes in as long as we have a player that's going to right this ship, because the expectations are low and unrealistically low, but the Bucs are not a doomed organization. The ship is not sank because the GOAT is retired. That's bullshit. First of all, it takes an entire team to be contenders. You can get to the Super Bowl and it doesn't have to have the best quarterback, just the quarterback that does his job right. You don't believe me? Trent Dilfer won with the fucking Ravens, and he was dog shit with us. He just happened to go somewhere else. That's the worst quarterback that ever won a Super Bowl. Hell.
And here's the thing. Don't kid yourself, and this is no disrespect.
Yeah.
Doug Williams left and went and became a Super Bowl quarterback with the Washington Redskins. But that said, and we all hold Doug Williams here in high regard, as we should. But go back and look at his stats, bro. He had Jameis Winston stats. Not going to lie. Go look at them. So it's not like these quarterbacks needed a fantastic team. They just needed real coaching staff, real development, and an actual scheme. Dude, Tom Brady, if anything, if you listen to Carlton Davis's comments about this, about the culture, we just missed out a lot going, oh, yeah, culture, this culture, that culture club. Cool. But he has taken it, and I'm sure people like Levante David, I'm not going to speak for Devin White, got no comment on that. They're talking as though this was handed to them as, here is the secret to success in this league. I'll show you how to do it. And now if you listen to Carlton Davis say it, he is taking it upon himself that he has to lead by example. He has to bring the young kids up to his level. Realize he's only 27. And so with that said, we only got 6 veterans on here older than Carlton Davis, and only 3 players been on here longer than Carlton Davis on the Bucs. Think about that for a minute.
It's a young gun team. It's like the Buccaneers went from being when we won the Super Bowl, we went from being one of the oldest teams in football and that's only because of Tom Brady's advanced age. He brought the whole peg up, and now we go back to what we were before. Because I remember before Tom Brady came, we were one of the youngest teams in football. Now we're probably on the bottom half of that scale. So it's a pretty young team when you think about it.
Well, think about that Super Bowl year. You bring in Brady, he already breaks the curve on age. You sign what? LaShawn McCoy?
Old.
Rob Gronkowski, 30.
Old.
Antonio Brown pushing 30. There was another. Who's the running back that came in for a little while and then ended up trying to be a boxer? Played for the Steelers. He wasn't young. So, yeah, the good thing is they're going young. The bad thing is, no matter what you do, it feels like we're going to build to the same place we were before, where we build a decent team and we just don't have a quarterback.
Yeah, I hope that's not the case. I hope but this time we are in hope due because we actually have a competent coaching staff in Canales, hopefully. Because remember, when we had that talent, Dirk Cutter didn't get his shit together. We already know Byron Bubblegum didn't do shit. So it really does. You have to have a coach and players be hand to hand. When you don't have that, it's going to be a shift in power, which leads to disaster. Because then the players are going to get fed up. Then the coaches are just going to act like they know everything. That's what hurt the Bucs with the Jameis Winston era as well. It's not just Jameis, but the coaching staff hurt. Dirk Cutter couldn't control the locker room. He let Deshaun Jacksons of the world and the Bakers of the world just run amok. And then you had it doesn't work that way. Lovie Smith, enough said. Shiano, enough said. So it really does. Coaching really has to be on the same page. Coaching can make or break careers. And as we can see before Arians got here, a lot of Bucs players' careers were going to come to an end until they went somewhere else and shined. So now I think with the offensive coordinator, Bowles is not going to touch it because he has to make his defense fine. His defense has to be good. So he's going to say, Canales, it's all for you. My defense can't fuck up. My defense has to be right. So that's why I said the Bucs are in prime position. Nobody's thinking about us. They think we're done. I love that shit because when we go in here and we're going to whoop that ass, I'm telling you right now, Bucs, if they can stay healthy 80% and the offense gets better, if the offense can be like just outside of the top 10, Bucs will win 11 games. Defense, I'm not worried about.
You ready for the ultimate segue? But before we go, you got anything else to say about this one, Slick?
No, I've said my piece. I'm done.
All right, the ultimate segue. You brought up Cutter. I wish Dirk Cutter would have stripped his clothes off and ran off the field in the middle of the game. And with that said, hey, he's not on the team. He's not in the league. Hell, I don't even know if he's alive at this point tonight. But You got to talk about Antonio Brown, guys, just for a little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah, it's on the docket. We'll get a conversation about this. How do you go from being this person? I'm disrespected by the Buccaneers organization. They didn't want to pay me. Tom Brady fed me a line and what have you. It's like, come on, this guy's been in the league long enough to know that sometimes it happened. Tom Brady told him what he wanted to hear to get him to go. Yeah, because he knew if he didn't say fuck all, he was going to go. Look, there's an easy way out. His foot was hurting and he was hurting, and I get it. We all get it. But there's this thing called a second opinion, which I've been told a lot of NFL players do when the medical staff clear them to play games. And they're like, I really don't think I should play a game. Like Levante's gone through it. They've all gone through it where the medical team has given them either clearance or they've had like what's the word? They've had their prognosis of what's going to happen, what's their diagnosis, of what's wrong with them. And they're like, I'm not buying it. Like they'll turn around and go, you don't need surgery. And they're like, I'm pretty sure I need surgery. So they'll go and they'll have their own doctor. Every player has one. And their own doctor will look at it and go, yeah, you need fucking surgery, dude. You've got a broken da-da-da-da-da. And then they will go and the team will pay for it 9 times out of 10. There has been points where they try to put the pressure on other teams. The Buccaneers have not been known to do this, but it's fascinating listening to some ex-NFL players' podcasts because this is the kind of shit they talk about. And the team will pay for it because you've had your second opinion. Your second opinion says, yep, he's done. He's not fucking playing. So if he gets his second opinion and his second opinion says, your foot's fucked, mate, guess what? He ain't playing and he can't get bullied to play. So he's looking for a scapegoat.
Exactly. And there's so many mechanisms in place. Here's the thing, AB, if you felt you were being pressured to play and you didn't want to play, you have a fucking union rep you can go to immediately. This is in the collective bargaining agreement. There's safe measures in place. You could have gone to anybody else in the organization. You could ask for a second opinion, yada, yada, yada. Here's what it is. You're a fucking asshole. That's what it is, AB.
For sure.
I mean, we can cut it anyway. We can debate some of the stuff he might have a point or keeping it real. Dude, keeping it real has landed you basically bankrupt, 3 years removed from playing in the National Football League at one of the highest levels? All right, keeping it real got your feet frozen off and the Raiders going, ah. So keep it real, dude. But we're going to keep it real, too, and say, hey, if you act like an ass, you're probably an ass. And like I told AJ earlier, I'm not going to sit here and say Tom Brady is Jesus. I'm not going to say that he's didn't do anything shady or underhanded. I don't know. Don't care. It's millionaire problem, bro. You all have coaches. You all have agents. You all have handlers. You all have publicists. You all have press agents. You have player reps. You have union reps. You've got doctors, personal trainers, everything. You blaming it on Tom and the Bucs just tells me you're embarrassed about what you did. You know deep down you're wrong and you quit on your team. You know deep down and wrong, you looked at Mike Evans' eyes and said, fuck you. Mike Evans ain't never did you dirty. He didn't complain when they brought someone in like you. He put his head down and sometimes his hamstring, and he played the damn game. That's what you're supposed to do when you're a professional. That's what separates you from the guys who play in an arena league and get screwed out of their paycheck. Oh, wait, you did that to them too, asshole. So miss me with all that. Great athlete. I don't know what happened with the hit up when he got a concussion.
I think it's more to that. You can't just put it down to one thing. I think.
Well, it wasn't like he was a nice guy before that. He was a prick.
No. He's a he. I think once he got a foothold in the league, that's when AB was born, so to speak, and he became an asshole. He's an obscenely talented football player with the mental IQ of being slapped in the fucking face. I've never seen anyone so stupid. Going to call your fucking GM a cracker. Arguing with your head coach when he was at the Raiders. I'm free, throwing bags of fucking candied penises and dicks at fucking police officers or security people.
Stroking your cock at a hotel pool in Dubai or some shit? Like, dude, they kill motherfuckers over there for shit like that, right?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Well, porn's banned.
I mean, and you, dude, all right. Hey, bro, I think you need help. I don't know if it's an addiction. I don't know if it's a mental disorder. I don't know if you got CTE. I don't care if you got A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Doesn't give you the right to be an asshole and try to take other people down with you, especially the only guy in the NFL that spoke on your behalf. When you were sitting on the unemployment line with that bowl in your hand going, please, sir, may I have some more? And they were all ignoring you. Tom Brady said, I want him. I believe in him. I can help him. He has value. He's a great player. Let's bring him in. And Arians and the team bit the bullet. You know, neither one of them, Arians or Light, didn't want to deal with that shit, right?
No,
but you ain't going to piss off Tom Brady, are you?
But they were like, this guy's fucking legitimately fucking talented. If he can do his Tom Brady effect magic bullshit and turn him into a fucking pup,
he moved you into his house.
Yep.
Tom Brady could have bought you your own apartment, an entire building. He moved you into his house. He basically broke bread with you. Mm-hmm. And you pissed on him, dude.
Yep. So, this is what I'm just going to say.
So you did this in Florida? You wait, yep. like Slick pointed out, you called a white man cracker in Florida and hands weren't thrown, AB? You got lucky because in Florida, they don't play that shit like that. They're weird here. You went into a man's house and disrespected him and his family on the way out the door when he gave you shelter and employment? Bro.
Yep. So just AB is a fucking dickhead. That's the whole point. There's nothing wrong with him mentally. It's something wrong with him and his character. He's one of those simple-minded assholes who, unfortunately, he represents a lot of the youth of today because of social media clout. This is the same man who had to go Facebook Live when his coach Tomlin was talking real football, in-house brother shit. And let me just step on this some more. Like you said, this man invited you into his home when you were fucking blackballed out of the league. This man gave you a second chance at redemption, another chance at redemption, put you on a team. You was behaving your ass off through that season. So we know you can do it, but you don't want to, because when you got that ring, then you turned into a jackass all over again. And the simple fact that you didn't walk out on the team, just the team, you walked out on your brothers that were there to fight with you and fight for you. This was a time as a professional and as a man, you handle shit differently. You have fucking agents. You could have waited and dealt with it after the game. You didn't. Nobody is saying that these coaches are perfect. They're not. We know they're not. We know Byron Leftwich is a fuck up. That's enough said. However, you need to stay professional. That's what separates you from guys who are not in the league. Be a professional at all times. And I'm saying this is a black man. Now, it's funny that you mentioned that what she said, Slick. You're talking to a bunch of white owners. Now, mind you, these owners are in their 60s, 70s. So they came from a time where some of them, they come from a time where there was prejudice. And in this country right now, there's still a lot of negative, stereotypical things that they think that the angry black man is. And you feed right into that shit. And that's a reflection, unfortunately, to me and other black men out there who have their shit together and who are not dumbasses like you. So that's really what pissed me off.
You think he was trying to make it about race?
Yes, absolutely, because he's a fucking dumbass. But here's the thing. It's the supporters out there that are fucking dumb as him. And I'm talking to my brothers out there who are supporting this dumbass. We have a saying, skin folk ain't always kinfolk. So for that being said, this is a motherfucker who wouldn't give a shit about you as a person. If I saw AB in person, I guarantee you he'd be an asshole to me. He's the type of person where I would want to slap him, because you're slapping the face and the people that would die to have an opportunity and as many chances to play. I know for me personally, I would play for a tenth of his salary just to play the game of football, because that's something that I love. But also, it's fun. You're getting paid to do something that you love to do. And that's not how you handle things. We're not saying Brady and Arians were professional. We're always the best people. But you know what? A lot of that shit is behind the fucking scenes. You showed your ass in person. You showed your ass and you walked out in a disgraceful fashion when your brothers needed you. Because in his mind, he thinks, well, see, I'm the reason the Bucs lost them, didn't go further. Not necessarily true. You were a factor. However, worse, being injured hurts. The simple fact that we didn't adjust with Byron's dumbass that hurt, and then Bowles with that idiotic last call. There's so many factors, but the problem is narcissistic dickheads like him are the reason why that I can't get down with people support ignorant bullshit. Again, like I said, AB, you made the culture look really bad on this. And the culture, I'm gonna tell you, the true culture don't stand behind this bullshit. The true culture don't stand behind your bullshit. And again, and I know I say this with passion because it made me mad. Because again, you got these white men in power that's looking at you, and behind closed doors, they could be laughing, saying, you see how they are? You see how they really are when you give them some money? And this is why they don't want to pay a lot of these athletes, because you act like fucking stupid asses. Look at the John Morants of the world. Look at the Zion Williams. Focus on your fucking craft, because there are thousands of people out there who would love to be in your position, and you fucking it up. And again, there's nothing wrong with him. So I don't feel bad for him. When he goes through worse shit, I will look him in his face and say, good for you. You deserve every fucking thing you get. And people like him, you don't know things behind. I don't have to know, motherfucker. You need to show some fucking professionalism. Again, if you have shit, what did you just say? You got unions, you got attorneys, you can file a grievance. Do it the right way. Leave it clean. Make
How
sure
are you going to beat
clean.
somebody? How are you going to beat somebody if you're not even playing the same game they're playing, man? You're
Right,
out here on social media asking for likes and retweets and talking about like Bucks Live said, put that shit on and dance around like a fool. Meanwhile, you got people working the system and doing it the right way who are getting over.
Yeah, and for the people who rock with AB, you're a fucking idiot too. Those podcast people who kiss his ass, no. You got to call it how it is. We're Buck fans in here, but we can call when our players fuck up. That's why with the Devin Whites of the world, we don't agree with everything. We would love to have you as a Buck, but we don't agree with every fucking thing just because you're one of us. No, it's the enablers that make them worse. They're just as bad as AB. They're just as bad because now you are perpetuating the bullshit. Yeah, man, keeping it real. Yeah, when keeping it real goes wrong. Now your dumb ass is losing money. Now you can't even play the game. And again, you're a talented player, but don't forget, motherfucker, when you was on the Bucs, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Gronkowski, hell, I'm gonna throw Scotty Miller in there. They kept the Wolves off of you because AB, when you was in Pittsburgh and playoffs came around and they doubled your ass, you didn't do shit. You didn't make nothing happen. Oh, and let's say this. Your ass was injured the Super Bowl run in the playoffs. Evans showed up. Godwin showed up. Gronk. Scotty Miller showed up. Scotty Miller has the second most iconic play in Bucs history. Your ass was just you were the icing on the cake in the Super Bowl.
Dude,
we went there without you.
Antonio Brown took a Hall of Fame career and turned it into a fucking Dave Chappelle sketch.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He did. When keeping it real goes wrong and keeping it real goes dumb. And for all the people out there that support him, you're just as dumb. And that's why a lot of you ain't where you need to be, because you're on that silly shit. Again, you pissed me off. That pissed me off so bad because, again, when Mike Evans said he tried to talk to him, this is Mike Evans here. Again, he's going to go to the Hall of Fame before your dumbass. Talented players, their problem is you listen to social media. And I'm talking about, these are like the Shaun Jacksons or Tyreek Hills. Motherfucker, you're good, but there's always somebody else out there that will be better. And they play when it matters. They play when it matters. I'll take Mike Evans over AB any fucking day. You know why? Because I know mentally Evans has it here and he has it here. AB, he's just going to go, Ben didn't throw me the ball enough. No, Ben didn't do that because you were getting double and you wasn't getting separation.
Hey, let me respond. Hey, Shaun, I'm not going to dispute that because to an extent, you're right. He's getting the attention. What I'm trying to point out, I think what AJ is trying to say is, dude, you took a Hall of Fame career and a, 6-figure, 7-8-figure contract and flushed it down the toilet for some social media impressions, bro? For some likes on Facebook and Twitter? That's what you did? That's what you did.
Yeah.
All right.
And let's be real, as men, at the end of the day, he's doing that now, Shaun, because he's living in the now. He has like a feminine mindset where I'm getting all the attention. People are in my DMs. What's going to happen 15, 20 years down the fucking line when you're remembered as a joke? When them Hall of Fame things come up. See, that's what a lot of those guys don't think about, because years come down the line,
He
you're
ain't
gonna
going
be
in the
like,
Hall of Fame.
yeah,
It doesn't
nobody.
happen.
They're gonna look at you and say you were a shoulda, coulda, woulda type person, and that's gonna fuck with him. See, AB is in his 30s now. We'll see what happens when your mid 40s hit and then your early 50s come, when it's really over, when he hits that legacy wall. A lot of those guys, I guarantee you, a lot of guys with that mindset, because they're young, but when they get older, it's, oh shit, I shouldn't have been this way. Oh damn, I should have put. Even Randy Moss has said that he wished he would have put more effort, and that's Randy Moss. Randy Moss said, if I would have put more effort into this game, I could have done better. So
Hey, you gotta look at it this way, man. All these stars that went to the Hall of Fame were on their way to the Hall of Fame. The legends of the game, the ones who didn't make a huge amount, the ones who did make a huge amount, they're all, as they get older, trying to get back into the game somehow, whether it be coaching, GM, calling it from the booth, some kind of media, something.
Yep.
So the reason they're doing that is, one, the money ain't always long. Two, sometimes you spend the money dumb and the money gets real damn short.
Yep.
And so if you piss off everybody in the league, you just cut off your biggest revenue stream moving forward, meaning ain't nobody going to ask you to come to a Hall of Fame ceremony if they're not sure you're going to pull your schwang out and start fucking stroking it like a dumbass.
Yep.
I mean,
yep.
I dude, you screwed an entire arena team out of their pay. You promoted having some quarterback come play with you on that arena team, sold out that arena with fans, and then you and that quarterback didn't show up. That's just who you are. You're just that guy. And like you pointed out, the fact that on some levels his name will be put next to people with character, that's the problem. Okay? I hate saying it, but if it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, and acts like a duck, it ain't a goddamn turkey, bro. You feel me?
Yeah. And you know what the problem is when you continue to be an ass? You get shitted on. Let that sink in. So you can be that way all you want to. And look, he can, again, he's thinking of this. He's living in the moment now. But what happens when social media disappears and you become irrelevant? Again, he's not thinking in the far future. And that's why, again, my biggest thing that I take from all this, you had an opportunity to be in a league where you're getting paid handsomely to play at the best level, where other people, including myself, because I'll put this in there too, including myself, who would love to have the opportunity. But don't think your talent can only get you so far, because then if you don't have the will to get through to stay in the right path, no, talent happens all the fucking time. And that's where I don't like when these guys, when the media says, oh, he's a one-of-a-kind talent. No, the fuck he's not. We've seen this before. We've seen people run routes before. When they say AB is, I haven't seen anything like that. Yes, we have. We saw Jerry fucking Rice, the greatest route runner of all time. We've seen that. We've seen these people. That's why when they talk about the Tyreek Hills of the world, I've seen him before. It's called Deshaun Jackson years ago. Everybody has, what's going to happen with Tyreek when he loses that step? Hey, Mike Evans will lose a step, but you know what? Mike can turn into a possession receiver. Mike can turn into something else. It won't be the end of him. This is why your talent, if your talent eclipses your ego, if your ego eclipses your talent and will, like you just said, dude, it will dwindle. That shit will turn from sugar to acid like that. And you just said you fucked up your business revenue. Nobody wants to be around you. What happens if you fall on hard times? Those people are going to remember that. They're going to go, okay, Robert Kraft should have been your best fucking friend. You got a billionaire owner. If you do right by him, if you fall on hard times, hey, I understand you're on hard times. Here's $500,000 to get you back on your feet. You don't have to tell nobody. he could make things happen. That's why Robert Kraft and Brady had such a great relationship. Robert didn't want Brady to go. That's why he looked at Belichick like, you out of your fucking mind, but whatever. It better go. It better happen the right way. I guarantee you, Robert looking at Leftwich right now, like, the fuck happened?
Yeah.
You fuck happened.
You want to know how out of line or far off the reservation AB is? For those that remember watching Randy Moss play and how the media covered him, he was shocking and controversial and all this stuff. And now we're comparing AB saying, why can't you act like Randy Moss did? He at least know how to, I mean, he's in broadcasting, bro. He's making money.
Well,
he's cashing a check.
You're right. And here's the difference. Now, back then, I will say Moss was such a phenomenon. His character and personality reminds me of the Iverson in the NBA. Certain medias back then wasn't ready for that. So they had a little bias and prejudice outlook. AB is the entire fucking opposite. It's like, no, you are playing into the super stereotypes. Moss just was like, fucking stop me. Stop me if you can.
Moss just liked to poke a little fun. And see, the problem here is we got, and we're going to get to Slick here in a minute. Sorry, Slick, man, you got to jump in there. I talk loud.
You're just bouncing off each other. I'm like, oh, wait a minute.
It ain't a coincidence that the guys who put so much importance on social media are the ones who don't know how to act right in the real world.
Yep.
Because as much as people live on that, the reality is social media ain't the real world. It's all a facade. Everybody's flexing. Hell, I'm going to go a little younger. Everything on there is cap for the most part. See what I did there?
Yeah.
99% of what you see is bullshit or twisted to make it look better than it really is. Ain't nobody, well, don't get me wrong. There's those people on social media that go in there and cry and bitch about how miserable their life is, but we already all blocked those people, right? We fucked that. So it's all flexing or send me money. That's all it is. And AB, you're doing both. And that makes you a social media bitch, dude. That's what you are.
We call them IG honeys. That's an IG honey.
Yeah. Dude, honey. But I will say this, and then I need to hear some English take on this. AB, you're missing your calling, bro. I've seen that video of you in the pool over in Dubai. I know Bang Brothers will sign you right now. Right now.
Honestly, I would not be surprised if that's
Razor, somebody will sign you.
He's gonna be. Have you ever seen the episode of Blue Mountain State about the sexy tape?
Yes.
Right. So he's gonna be putting the helmet on, going, "Tell me I'm a legend. Tell me I'm a legend. Tell me I'm the best coach."
If you can learn how to swat people with that thing, Dana White will start a league with it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk will fight over it.
Facts. Look, he just needs an OnlyFans. That's all.
Oh man, look. The problem is, like you said, he hasn't paid his arena team, so he can't even do. He's complaining about a company not paying him, and then doing exactly the same makes you look like such a fucking idiot. Like if he treated them first class because he knows how to treat an athlete, and that reputation runs for the league, and he looks after his guys or whatever. Then maybe he might have a bit of credibility to it, but it doesn't matter. You know why it doesn't matter? Because it has been time after time after time after time of incidents where he's fucking done stupid shit. I want to give, if there's someone who's in Halo, it's Mike Tomlin. Somehow Mike Tomlin was on a team, ran a team, and went to the playoffs on a regular basis with fucking AB, Le'Veon Bell, and Big Ben. Just personalities alone, that guy should be just Hall of Fame caliber.
I honestly don't know how. Yeah, we had Mike Tomlin down here for a minute, and that was before social media, really. So we only got to hear from him on radio interviews and shit like that. But he's a no bullshit guy. Mike Tomlin is not a small man. So how did Mike Tomlin just not knock the fuck out of this guy when he was live during that locker room?
I beat you now. AB, don't let me raise my fist at you.
Yes, and see, AB, that's another thing. On another level, AB is that kind of guy where it's like he forgets. He talks like he's 6'5" and 350 of pure muscle. It's like, motherfucker, you 5'10" and a $170, and you scared to throw blocks in the fucking game. Go sit your ass down for somebody slump your ass. Like, go sit the fuck down. Look, I had to bring back that word, slump. You get slumped out here in these streets. Sit down. Again,
Hey, you saw the caption, what it says about AB, right? AB needs some milk.
Nah, in his case, he needs cash. Broke ass. Look, ain't nothing worse than being a broke ass when you had it all and then you lose it all. Again, if he came up here in the DMV area and talked that shit, they would roast him alive. They'd be like, motherfucker, how you make all this shit and now all of a sudden you out here you need cash up like everybody else? What the fuck?
All that money, how you broke without smoking crack?
Shit. Look, the he tricking and then paying people to kiss his ass. So that's my whole point. It's like, you're talking all this shit. You should be well paid off. How do you look? I already told y'all, the NFL, if any organization gives me a 6-figure check and they say, look, we need you to talk nice about AB, I'll switch it up. If the check is right, Antonio Brown is a wonderful stand-up individual.
And speaking of broadcast people, let's talk about our former running back who had a little bit of car trouble.
Oh boy,
Leonard Fournette.
Oh boy,
it blew up in his face. Bless him. Have you seen the wreck? How does someone own a car of that caliber and it do that? Because my car is 13 years old and it does not do that.
You talking about Fire Truck Lenny?
Fire Truck Lenny.
Fire Truck Lenny.
Somebody called him Hot Wheels Lenny. I was like, shit.
Fire Truck.
This is why. Look, no disrespect, but this is why. Money doesn't always make you smarter or better. Money just reveals who you were from the beginning. And sometimes these players that's why I like me as a counselor, I have told the kids, don't always look up to athletes or entertainers, because at the end of the day, they're human like everybody else. Look up to somebody who has real consistency, because motherfuckers with money, some people shouldn't never have that kind of money. And I like Leonard. I really do. We'll never forget him in the Super Bowl run, because I remember the play when the announcer said in the Super Bowl, Fournette, that's what I knew we was going to win the game. But
I'm gonna piggyback off of Bucs Live here. I thought the same thing when that video hit Twitter. I went, how is this motherfucker driving the Dodge Durango, bro? What? That better be the Hellcat with the reverse zombie dog gimmick on it or something, because, bro, you got like $40 million in the bank and you're driving a $64,000 car with rims.
Hey, if he wants to save his money, he ain't always gonna have a miles running.
He's saving his money. He's just being a little bit liberal. He's just being a bit conservative with his cash flow right now.
You tell me you went to the cheap stereo shop without telling me. Damn. He went to a cheap stereo shop, dude. They burnt his car down.
And then the simple fact that he is not on another team. What do you guys think about that? Like, what do you feel about him not being on the team?
I think the best way to describe, kind of put this into any real context, is the running back position is now technically worthless, and what he can do,
or interchangeable at least,
interchangeable, which means the value of it's gone down. So the whole feature back thing's kind of gone. You know, teams with the feature back don't do anything in the postseason. They just don't. Like even the Titans, you need a fucking quarterback. You can't do it with a running back. You can have the best running back in football. They have. He's been the best running back in football for like half a decade, and they've done nothing. Well, they've won a couple of playoff games, but eventually you will spinning into a team where they have a fucking run defense, and then you're done, because you can't do nothing, because this run defense usually has a pretty decent pass offense.
No, and you're right, but Slick, you want to know what? Yeah, exactly.
They're spinning.
Yes. No,
rims on a toaster.
They spinning. But the thing is, you guys are absolutely right. But Slick, to be an effective running back in the playoffs, you cannot just be one-dimensional. The two most important things you have to be able to do is run that fucking rock. And second, and this is over being a receiver, you have to be a run-blocking running back. That's what's going to get you there, because you have to be that running back where if they send an extra man, you have to be willing to sacrifice yourself for that one extra second for the quarterback to make it happen.
Hey, what's up with them LSU boys always getting the big NFL paychecks and getting fat? Like Russ, what was that one quarterback? DeMarcus Russell? And now we got Leonard Fournette. And here's the thing, Devin White don't look slim.
No, he's a thick boy.
So is this a Cheesecake Factory conspiracy?
I don't know. I just think it's just the
mindset. Uber Eats.
It's the mindset, my man. I think these guys nowadays, and social media plays a big part in it. When people kiss your ass all the time and tell you you're the shit, most people are gonna literally walk around going, "You know what? I am the shit." And then they don't realize that's not how it works. Because then when you fuck up, exactly.
You ever see like an NFL player go on Twitter and post? It's like 1 o'clock in the afternoon on the East Coast, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, I'm about to go play such and such Fortnite. You want to join me?" No, motherfucker, we got jobs.
Exactly. And I'm all for being with your fans, but the thing is, and I hate that. It's that selective shit, because they like to only like kick it with people who are gonna dick ride them all the time. No, I love my Bucs players and stuff, but sometimes let's talk some football. I know you're around it all the time, motherfucker. You get paid millions, so one more comment shouldn't hurt you. Be like, "Hey man, what's going on with this and that?" I ain't saying you got to give away plays, but yeah, you're right. I don't want to hear you being on fucking Fortnite. Now, if it's off season, that's different. But if I see you in October or September and you talking about Fortnite, I'm like, take your ass to bed. You got a game in 2 days. You better run that fucking route. As many times you pressing down B, you better do the same shit on the field. If I see you do up A, and you give it, it's a pick six, I'm gonna kick your ass. And that's a lot of the receivers. The receivers be doing that shit. It's like, look, if you ran your route as good as you ran your mouth, you'd be fine. Shit, I get tired of that. No, you're right, but dude, you called it. Get your ass off of social media. That's why I like Levante. Levante be like, I ain't got shit to say. I ain't got nothing to say until the season's over. And that's why he is still in the league. Some of these young guys, shut the hell up. You got your Kyle Murrays out here, can't even fucking read a play, and you're getting paid all this money. You getting all, and you're a quarterback, the most important position. You're getting paid.
What's Zagnit production? Kyler Murray. Hey, Kyler Murray, we sent you the playbook. How'd it go? I don't know, but I can tell you where the new life and power up is on Call of Duty. Fuck you. Fuck you, you short. Listen, this ain't the Lollipop Guild. All right.
Nah, you know what COD means for him? Can't overdo it.
Dude.
I'm just saying.
You know what that means if you're a guy that plays Call of Duty, COD all the time, and you got a girl and she's never around, COD means cock on demand for backdoor Jody. Okay?
Tricking on the wrong thing. See, this is what I'm saying though. These young guys, I guarantee you this. Now, and I can't believe I'm saying this. The fucking owners, hey guys, y'all hearing this? I'm willing to work for a little something. If they got paid what these players got paid in the 90s and 80s, I bet you they'd tune the fuck up real quick then.
They would be on this fucking crack.
Oh, nah. If these quarterbacks weren't getting these $100 million, be like, nah, you're going to get $10 million for 5 years. I bet you they'll go, oh, shit. Never mind, coach. We got to take it serious. Because that's the problem. A lot of these guys are getting more than what they're fucking worth. If I give you $100 million and you're a wide receiver, you need to have 1,500 yards for 5 seasons and 15 touchdowns, no minimum. And I need 4 playoffs. Wait a minute. Oh, I'm not the only one on the team, coach. You getting paid like you the only motherfucker on this team? So you better
because you're getting paid the way you are.
Yeah, you better produce, damn it. I don't want to hear, oh, you got injured. Oh, you broke a fibula. That's fine. take some Robitussin, pour that shit on your leg, wrap some duct tape, and get back out there. You gonna get my money's worth, motherfucker.
Hey, and real quick, I'm gonna do a fast rewind back to AB because real quick, AB, you pranced off the field like you was in some kind of parade. That's all I'm gonna say. And and you said it was because Brady done promised you 10 to 12 targets during the game, and you wasn't getting your targets. Yet you left right after halftime with 5 targets. Now, maybe because you're on social media all the time, or maybe all the brains did go down to the other head, but half of 10 is 5. And you were trailing in the game, so it's safe to say the play call selection is going to be heavy pass, which means you probably would end up with 12 to 14 targets. So here's what really happened. AAB, you was in a hurry to get back to that hotel room and do that toilet licking girl you had up there, weren't you? Y'all don't know what I'm talking about? Google it, because it's the truth.
Oh, we do, because it's so many rumors. Like they say, it's just, again, when you want to be a spectacle, you are just a joke. When you want to be a spectacle, that makes you a joke. He's a clown. Look, I got a sound barrier, like, and I've told my boys and them that, like, you don't want to be that guy. Don't be the guy with, look, he's just missing a red nose and root beer and cake, and he can be a hell of a clown, because that's all he is. Antonio Brown, the clown, who's always around. That's him. That's just who he is. But you're right. You fucking girls were licking toilets. It's like
he's gonna end up like Felicia on Friday.
Exactly. If he's not there already.
Or Pookie from New Jack City. Come on, man. Let me just get one more extra turkey, man.
Nah, Tyrone Biggums. That's what he's gonna do.
Crack.
Crack kills. He's gonna be talking to the kids and saying that he has to meet a dude named Sanchez on the block. Look, it's like AB, like, look, the jokes write themselves, motherfuckers. And look, I would love for him to talk on Bucs Report. I'd be like, yeah, let's have this conversation. There's 3 people I want to really have a conversation with. AB. I want to talk to Mike Evans just because, and then, you know, my most important person, I want to talk to Byron. I got to be like, hey, Byron, how does it feel to fuck up a team with Evans? You had 2, like, top tier receivers. You had Brady. You had a defense that's top 10, and all you did is your biggest play was Flight of the Bumblebee. Everybody knows. Well,
you know,
counter.
There's all different kinds of screen passes. There's a bubble screen. There's a hard screen. There's a short screen.
Exactly. Shrimp soup, potatoes.
There's a double reverse screen.
I was born this way, and be like, look, Slim, like, how did you not do it? This isn't Madden, motherfucker. Last time
you were talking about Buccaneers who don't have a job anymore. Byron's still on that list,
and he should be.
Hey, even Dirk Cutter got a job.
I know, right? Look, it's certain pirates out there still trying to get the booty. and if he's one of them, look, you can't get the booty when you are some booty. It's like, Byron, you was butt sauce out here. It's like, it's again. It'd be different if you had nobody on your team and they just threw you to the wolves. No, you had like 4 to 5 years to get this shit right, and you couldn't do it. How do you fuck this up? Slick already said it.
I want you to bring Byron on, and I'm going to ask him. I'm going to say, hey, Byron, remember when you had Tom Brady, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Rob Gronkowski, and Leonard Fournette, but you couldn't figure out what the fuck to do with them? Remember that? That was cool, right?
Yeah, remember in the playoffs when the biggest look, the person I hated the most in the Rams playoffs was Von Miller. He single-handedly is the reason why the Rams are in the Super Bowl. This is why. All Byron had to do was fucking chip him. What do? You put Wells on the other side. He was getting blasted, and Brady couldn't do shit until the end. It had to be a miracle. But can you imagine just adjusting? Hey, Leonard, this game, your duty is to keep Von Miller off of Brady for a second and a half. Make that happen. He does that shit.
And it's even easier because you can play action it to where you have run plays on that side.
Ding, ding, ding.
Hand in the ball one play, next play you don't, and then he just goes to fucking decks him.
And then
remember when you had Brady and Gronkowski and Fournette and Evans and Godwin and you got fired?
And look, you run to the left fucking side. Any side that Vaughn is not on, how about you run that way? Because we already know, as great as Aaron Donald is, he still wasn't good against the run. You at least do something. It's like, Byron, you fucked up so bad. I get it. Wirfs' heart is irreplaceable, but adjust, man. He never adjusted. And you can tell, it's like you can damn near tell when a play goes right.
And I think
Arians.
I think that was the problem with Arians could adjust, whereas he couldn't.
No, Arians knew how to adjust.
I think that was the bit where you saw the kind of like the game planning, that stuff. I think there was a certain finesse that he didn't have. I think he could teach quite well, but I don't think he could play cool, and I don't think he could adjust. And that's when you are calling shots. That's what you need to be able to go. Because your players are coming up going, "Oh, coach, he's doing this, this, and this, and this, and this, and the end sealing me like this, and he's holding me in my place." Okay, well, what you need to do is do this, and then those are the little adjustments, and then there's like, okay, he's really struggling, coach. I can't even get a fucking hand on this fucking Von Miller dude. All right, we're gonna chip him and see how that looks. Next play, we're gonna fucking chip. Let's see how the chip looks. Okay, chip's good. Keep fucking chipping him. Then they'll adjust. They'll move Von Miller around. So you continue to adjust.
You continue, and then you also, one thing that he never did, you know how to utilize your missed fucking matches. Let's put a zip on the Rams game. Let's go back to our favorite game that we always talk about, the Steelers this past season. You had literally 7-Eleven Walmart employees coming on this squad, and what do? No, you don't use your receivers to your advantage. You run against one of the best run blocking tackles in the fucking game. Now, I'm going to go back to the Rams. You don't use Scotty Miller for the crossing routes. You don't use Godwin in them. You don't do anything. Nope. You just want to bombs away or run up the gut and leave poor Brady out by himself. Chipping would have saved the game. This is why I said, Slick, running back that can run the rock and fucking block in the playoffs is fucking crucial. Because if you have a quarterback that can get it there, who needs a second, and all Brady needs is a half of a second, and it's a wrap. If they adjust, Bucs go win another Super Bowl, because they definitely would have smacked they would have blew out the 49ers, in my opinion, and then they definitely would have beat the shit out of the Bengals. So that's a Super Bowl. That's why I tell people the AB shit is minute compared to Wirfs and Byron, because when Wirfs went out, that destroyed us because we didn't adjust. How do you not know how to adjust? Again, Slick, you're a good coach. I coach. I've had coaching experience, but some things are just common fucking sense. Hey, their linebackers don't have the speed to keep up with Scotty. So instead of making Scotty a possession receiver, make him run around. Make him run where the linebackers have to go, shit, this fucker's too fast.
Renfro him, basically.
Yes, Renfro him, because the Rams, they're going to have to adjust, because then Von Miller, if he gets chipped, you know what happens when edge rushers get chipped? They get tired. They get a little tired. They get a little worn out. And here's the thing. If Fournette does the shot that he did to Micah Parsons to Von Miller, that might take him out of his game mentally, because it sure shit took Micah Parsons out of his game when he got blasted. Again, football is a mental game, and you're right. Byron doesn't have this nor this, and he definitely didn't have the other things below to make it happen. And that's why Arians could swallow his pride. Byron couldn't. Like you said, when we lost in the regular season against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl run, what did Bruce do? You know what? Let's make a compromise. Instead of always trying to bomb it down the field, let's do the short passes and mix it up. Byron didn't do that. Yeah, Byron didn't do that. This was Byron. Flight of the Bumblebee is working, or Bumblebee of the Fly can help. There we go. Yeah. Bumblebee of the Fly next week. Why would you do that, Byron? Well, I know what I'm doing. Okay, I got this. Fuck out of here, man. So yes, a lot of guys. There's some ex-Bucs players and coaches. I'm okay that they don't have a job. Byron, it's not that I don't want him not to have a job, but Byron, I want you to, if he hasn't truly learned from his mistakes and he still carries that arrogance around, then you don't deserve one, because someone else can do better. Buccaneers, get Slick out here. He's a good defensive guy. He can help you. Get me out here. Look, I just want an audition. That's all I ask. If I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, then hey, you haven't lost anything.
I'll take the internship.
Me too. I'll take it. I just want to be around football and my team because that's my home, Hborough County off Del Mabry Highway. I'm from East Tampa originally. That's my home, and I love the game. My family down there. Shout out to my family. But yes, Tampa, like it's just I just want to be a part of the game, and you have fun. And when you're on a team with potential, have fucking fun. This ain't the dark ages. It ain't like we're back in the great Shaun era where it's like, oh God, I'm here for this check. Thank the Lord. No, you're on a team where you have the chance. And we always said it. The NFC is wide fucking open. Again, it's wide open. It's for the taking. We don't wish injuries, but if you know if Hurts get hurt, oh my God, the NFC would literally. You'd be like, oh, and he's gone for the season. The NFC would literally there's no dogfight. You can literally somebody's gonna have to do it. Somebody can do it, and why not the Bucs?
Somebody will have to do it. Absolutely. He's a running quarterback, so he could get something.
And I'm not. And for people, we're not wishing that, but this happens. We're not wishing that.
That's but we would football. Not be upset if it did happen.
And more than that,
and if I do hope it's only for the season. It's not for the whole.
Right.
But speaking of like how we're being disrespected, our boy Carlton Davis was asked about the disrespect, and he said, and I'll quote here, I never really paid attention to any of that stuff. Honestly, I'm just like oblivious to it. Like when Tom was here, of course, we got a lot of attention, and that was never my focus. It was never feeding off or motivated. I was never feeding off it or motivated by it and anything like that. So for me, it's just another season to prove ourselves. And then he goes on to say, basically, when we punch you in the mouth, it'll be, man, okay. And he's basically saying, don't count us the fuck out.
No, and why shouldn't he? He first of all, Carlton Davis, shout out to you. All I'm gonna say, you're a hell of a player. One thing I just want you to turn up in your craft is just picking the damn balls off. If you start getting interceptions, Carlton, they're gonna put you in the elite category because you know how to physically outman your guy. But he's right. The Bucs is that team now. If we give you that nice hook to the face, you're going to be dizzy. You're going to go, oh, shit. Because I'm telling y'all, Bucs can be something serious. Don't let, God forbid. Now, Slick, what if this happens? What if the Bucs, I would drink if this happened. I would take, that's good. Free advertisement, y'all. I might have to get that. But look, now, Slick, you would do this what if the Bucs offense got into a nice rhythm by, let's say, week 7? What if they put it all together by then? And the defense is top 5.
I mean, there's no telling what this team can do. Realistically, I mean, we're right now with the fucking Mario box with the question mark, and we might get towards the mushroom. We might get the mid mushroom, but we could get the fucking free up. You know what I'm saying? So at this point, we just don't know. Because it's going to come down to, like, I think the defense will hold us in a lot of games. I don't think it's going to be as bad. Like, people saying we're going to be tanking this year. I don't see that happen. I don't know where our H coach is in the good graces of the organization, whether he can withstand, I won't say tanking, but, like, having a really shit record.
He can.
And I don't think so either. But you never know. Because people seem to think that he's got an iron-proof year at least. But to all the people thinking about tanking, how many quarterbacks have we seen taken first round that have done nothing? We've even done it ourselves. We took the first overall pick, and it didn't matter which one of those two dingbats we'd have fucking picked, because there was an argument for like fucking 4 years of which one was the better pick, and there was arguments back and forth. Neither of them. They're both. I'd say the thing you're going to get with one is, I think you got more bollocks when it comes to Jameis Winston. He's got a bit more nuts on him. I think Marcus Mariota is too fucking passive. I think he's a fucking pussy.
Ooh, Slick, watch your mouth.
I think
you need to take a shot and wash your mouth out with that. How dare you?
I think he walks like a pussy.
Ooh, I'll say this: we'll never know the true answer behind Jameis, because we, as exciting as he was, and as much shit as I do give him, we still have to understand. Can you imagine if Jameis had a Tristan Wirfs instead of a DeMar Dotson, can you imagine if he had a consistent
I
running
think he's the
game?
left tackle for me. Dotson in his last year was really poor for sure,
Yeah,
but he was
yeah.
pretty consistent the years before that. But
Right.
it was left tackle that was basically an in and out job.
Yeah.
And center was never really great until who do we have? Evan Dietrich Smith. I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
Well, Evan Smith. He wasn't particularly great, and then we had a guard. We had Logan Mankins for a while, and then he left.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. If he didn't have the consistent line either that Brady had, because again,
oh no. I think that there's things that could have been done to make life easier.
Yeah.
But the problem is with Jameis Winston, and doesn't matter how good of a roster you're going to give him.
Yeah, he's going to
a little bit of the whole. What's the best way of putting this? He's a risk taker, and sometimes it pays off, but a lot of the time it doesn't.
Gunslinger. Yeah, he was a gunslinger.
Yeah, as cool as it is, there's bad. Like, don't get me wrong. I always say to people when a couple of my friends were Saints fans, and I said, "What's it like having Jameis Winston?" I said, "It's like the fucking Wild West." It's the best way to describe it, because sometimes you are having the time of your fucking life because he is fucking dropping dimes and fucking bombs all over the fucking field, and the next day it's just like, oh my god, please don't throw.
You're
just
like
anything, just hand that fucking. He's got the ball. Please hand it off. Please hand it off. No.
You could say Jameis in two different tones. Jameis, and two different expressions. That's Jameis in a nutshell. That motherfucker was the roller coaster, but we had fun. Even when we lost, we had fun.
I no ill will against him or anything like that. I never had. I actually really wanted him to come back as a backup for us, to be honest. So he would have maybe learned some restraint and just took it back. But I think it's a bit of his own ego, which all players are going to have it. You know, you can run. Every player's got ego. You can't just we can't all be buttoned up. Me and you can talk about being buttoned up and having no ego because we've not been in their position. When you've been the Mac Daddy at FSU, and then you become to Tampa and are the face of the franchise for 4 years or 5 years in his case. It's probably a bitter pill to swallow. And I get it. I don't know.
And he got a bag, so this man had a bag. So yeah, you're right.
Trust me, Jameis Winston's not leaving the league anytime soon.
No, and he's going to get paid.
He is too talented as a quarterback. As an emergency quarterback, so everyone would want him as your backup because you can win games with him. Because the problem is some backups are so fucking careful, they don't take any risks and they will just let themselves be beat because they will just throw everything away. Oh shit! Oh.
Look,
you need some testicular fortitude, and you need someone who's going to fucking drill the ball in there.
I would laugh hard if Jameis came back this season. That's what I'm thinking. If he were to come back as a backup, first of all, that would fill the seat.
He's still on set with me.
I get it, but if he were to come back to Tampa, first of all, the seats would be packed because motherfuckers would just be there to talk shit to him, but the tickets will be sold up like, Jameis, you gonna get the game and throw 30 for 30 again? Yo, I will laugh. Look, again, you're right. Winston, he didn't pan out. It is what it is. But now we're beyond that. We're beyond that shit. Yeah. So we're beyond that, and that's you know. But yeah, what was another topic we wanted to get into? Because we've been on a roll. We've been talking shit about everybody. This has been talking shit tonight.
I actually don't know. I think we've actually technically covered everything.
Look, we are the Bucs. We give no fucks as long as it's about the Bucs. Double entendre right there. I like that. Yeah. But yeah, if anything, we'd have done it, guys. And look, again, Buck fans, if you got if anything y'all want to say, please bring it to us. We have a Twitter, Bucs Report. Look us up on that. Instagram, follow Slick and I. We love to talk about Buck football, and we want to get your opinion because it's very important. And look, next month we literally have preseason will be coming, and I'm ready, and I'm gonna be ready for it. I honestly am excited because I think the Bucs are going to be more of a surprise than a letdown. Could I be wrong? Absolutely.
I'll tell you what, we could always be wrong because we know players are going to be singing coaches' praises and stuff, but I just get a good vibe. I don't know. I'm feeling good. There's nothing wrong with having the good vibes, you know? Dave Canales, I like what I'm hearing. I like what I'm hearing. He's giving informative answers when people ask him questions. You can clearly see he has a philosophy that he believes in. Whether that philosophy works or not, we're about to find out. but you can see it by the way he talks. He has like a core beliefs on what he thinks works offensively and what doesn't work offensively, and how he wants to manage the offense. And I really like that. I wouldn't worry about, like, let's say we've spoken previously in the past about like if it like he might eventually could have the keys to the kingdom if Todd Bowles can't manage the main job. And I think he'll be okay for at least 2 years, because no one wants to go from a rookie dude straight into head coach, because it's probably why Byron wasn't really hired straight out the Super Bowl. They want to see one more year at least. Can you be consistent? Oh, he is 2 consistent years. The third consistent year never happened, and therefore he's now out of the league because you went with a plethora of talent and just like basically fucked it.
I like it. I love that. Yeah, basically.
No lies told. No lies told.
No lies told here, guys. And again, you can always look Bucs organization. I hope somebody on the Bucs team. I hope somebody Bucs players got somebody watching. Hey, talk your shit. You can find me at AJ Turnup on my Twitter. I'm always down for debating, because when I see silly certain shit on there, like I just want to throw this one thing out there, Slick. I saw something that just turned my heart. Made me just go, what the hell is wrong with people? They compared Urlacher to Derek Brooks. What kind of dumb shit is that? They said, who would you rather take? And this is not even just me being a Bucs fan, but
break it down for me, because I think both players are legends, and they're right. There's a reason they both have a jacket.
There's a reason why they have a jacket. However, Brooks redefined his position, and the reason why he redefined that, because the Tampa 2 doesn't work without Derek Brooks. It doesn't, because when you run the Tampa 2, if you don't have a linebacker that has the vision and the speed, it's useless, because we all know the weakness to the Tampa 2 is the middle. Derek Brooks was not that weakness. He was a factor. Urlacher, good as he was, he also had another guy that doesn't get enough credit next to him that took the heat off his back and extended his career, and that's Lance Briggs. He also had a squad. Again, Urlacher was good, but Urlacher did not have the speed of what Brooks was. He didn't excel the position. He was just a guy who was good, but not Derek.
Yeah, I look at them in completely different sets. The amazing thing about Derek Brooks is how he moved around so fast from the Sam linebacker position. So the strong linebacker. So he's not a middle guy. So you can't really truly compare them. It's like you can't really compare Levante David against a lot of middle linebackers. The problem is the position of a 4-3 in the NFL now is starting to dry up more and more and more, because everyone's going to a free 4, because it's a little bit easier and you get more pass rushes.
Yeah.
What do we want to do? We want to hit the pass. We want to fucking punch you in the mouth in the pass. We want to put pressure on that quarterback. But the quarterback nowadays is getting more and more lenient in what they can get away with in contact and what have you, so they can do a magnitude of stuff. But like Sean Spencer says here, one's a middle linebacker and one's an outside linebacker. That's how I look at it. And when it came to crunch time, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers probably spent most of their time in nickelback. So guess what the fucking the defensive backers were? It'd have been D. Brooks, it'd have been Qualls or Hardy, and it would have been Rondé Barber right next to him.
Hey, I just say this. I bet Urlacher couldn't single-handedly tackle Michael Vick open field. I know one linebacker who did. And that shit was beautiful, because this was
I'll give Urlacher. Look, there's a reason they both got jackets, and I believe, if I remember correctly, Urlacher didn't make the all 100 team, but Brooks did.
Yes, he did. Brooks wasn't as high as he should have, but he made it. Urlacher did, and that's why I do think they take account that Briggs helped, because Briggs was a dog too. Like when people say, "Well, Brooks had Quarles," Quarles wasn't what Briggs was. No disrespect to Quarles, but Lance Briggs. Go back and watch Lance Briggs. Like that motherfucker was a dog too. He was a dog. But that was just my little spiel on social media. Sometimes I just get on there just to start some shit.
Let's have a look at this 100th anniversary team, because that's got to be a fucking name to be fucking named on. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So Tom Brady was in it.
Of course.
Standard. It was before he went to the Bucs, so we're not going to go with that. The great Jim Brown. But let's see how many of the Buccaneers got on here. Gronk made it. So Leroy Salmon made it, and that was Bill Belichick who called him out. Like they had those roundtables and shit.
Yeah, I remember. He talked about. Yep.
And it was like, yeah, to like put that in such a short career as well. Like he didn't play the full 10 years. He did not play 10 years. Imagine what he could have accomplished if he did like a 15 or a 12, at least a 12.
Yeah.
At least a 12.
Yeah. Oh God.
Defensive tackles. Our boy Warren Sapp didn't make it. They went with Buck Buchanan, Joe Green, Joe Lilly, Merlin Olsen, Alan Page, John Randall, and Randy White. They probably might have went for different eras, I guess, because you can't always compare one era to the rest. So, because I'm looking at the outside linebackers, you got Derek Brooks, Jack Ham, Ted Hendricks, Lawrence Taylor, Chuck Bedren. I can't pronounce that name. I do apologize. And Bobby Bell. And then they went to the middle linebackers, which was Dick Butkus, Jack Lambert,
Ray Lewis,
Lena, the great Will Lewis, Joe Smith, and Junior Seau. So
yeah.
You, when you make that list, you're special.
You are special. Now, Sapp, I think is more of political reasons why he didn't make it. And I think that's what it is because, again, we've seen Sapp, and this isn't biased. If Sapp was anywhere else, I would say the same. But I've never seen.
When you look at the names, though, I just think like how special it is to be named in that. The Buccaneers got two in it for sure, and well, a couple more because we had some hand-ins, but it's pretty special in itself. I mean,
oh, you're absolutely right. And Brooks, what makes Brooks so special in Tampa, most people thought nobody would ever surpass Selman as like the greatest Buccaneer ever. Brooks is
player plus human, right?
Like when you think of the Bucs, Brooks is the face guy because he was everything. A man with humility, but he was intense, a winner, a champion. You never heard anything about him off the field. He was the prototype player that you would want your kids to strive to look up to.
And the interesting thing is in all this is one was playing for Florida State. There was a gentleman who played for the University of Miami. You know what I'm saying? So there's some rivalry going on there too.
Exactly. As well. Look, you can't write. Look, that's a movie. They need to make a movie about that shit because that '95 draft for the Bucs turned this. It's because that's the reason why we can talk about this now without a paper bag over our head saying I am a Bucs fan and I stand by it. But damn, it's getting late over here. I'm gonna let you get some rest.
Too, bro. I gotta go to sleep too.
Yes, and again, guys, Bucs Report, the aftermath. Check us out Wednesdays 9:30. We are always here to talk that Buck talk. And again, you can find us on Twitter and Instagram. We're here to always talk that shit. YouTube. And for me, if you want to check me out on my little private vendors, About Bucking Time is my podcast. You can check me out because I always talk. I'm gonna break it down to you. And look, for all people out there who don't want to be on there 10 minutes, now I'll give you 2 to 3 minutes of real shit. And then also it's summertime.
Concentrated.
Exactly. I concentrate. I save the long stuff for the Bucs Report because that's the aftermath. I want to break it down on a science level. I break it down on a soundbite level on my YouTube. But also, if you want to turn up in style because it is summer and we're getting to the 4th of July, you can check me out right here. This is
look at it.
Yes, sir. So go by my page, and I got a lot of gear. So my motto is turn up in style. So yes, with that being said, thank you for your time, Slick. I appreciate you as usual. You take care of yourself, and always go Bucs.
Go Bucs. Okay, guys, I'm just going to quickly pop through the the last couple of messages. Some could argue that Urlacher didn't have warrants. I completely agree. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, it's comparing like an apple onto an orange. It's just not worth it. And then finally, Sean Spencer with the Bednar Ick. Okay, thank you. It's not a name I'm familiar with. You got to remember, I am still quite young, and I only got into the NFL since 2013. So bear with me. I do my history, but I'm not great on other teams' history. After that, guys, much appreciated. I'm going to have a little salute of this, which is Chairman's Reserves. No free shout-outs out there. It's a good bit of Jamaican rum from St. Lucia. It's spiced, so I do like a bit of spice, a little bit of sweetness, a little spice, a bit of what do they say? Spice is the variety of life. Without further ado, Bucs on me, Bucs on 3. 1, 2, 3, go Bucs!